Tucker Carlson couldn't contain his own amusement as he riffed during a speech about his favorite story of all time, the mystery of cocaine found in President Joe Biden's White House, capped with one piece of advice. Unfettered by Fox News, the political commentator also appeared unfatigued Saturday in West Palm Beach, Florida, as he spoke to attendees at the Turning Point Action Conference one day after a marathon of interviews with presidential hopefuls at the Family Leadership Summit in Des Moines, Iowa. After speaking on stage for around 40 minutes, a shout-out from the audience turned Carlson's attention to the recently closed investigation by the Secret Service after cocaine was discovered at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue that would ultimately lead him to a word for the wise about men with numb gums. The thing about that story, it's just a mystery to me. No one was more shocked than I was, the speaker began sarcastically. Are you serious? In the Biden White House, somebody left an 8-ball of cocaine in a public. I was like, I said to my wife, it's just not in character, you know? I just don't believe it. It's clearly a setup. I went right back to Marion Barry and I was like, somebody set you up. Carlson continued with a reference to the former longtime mayor of Washington, D.C., who was arrested by the FBI during a sting operation while still in office. Unable to control his laughter at the absurdity of his favorite story of all time, he then proceeded to explain how all of Biden's behavior became clearer after the discovery of the drugs had been announced. Noting the crazed and grandiose behavior associated with cocaine use, Carlson mimicked as much as he aped, I've got a plan. You're not gonna believe it. It's unbelievable. It's gonna totally work. What we're gonna do, he continued as he pretended to wipe his face, is we're gonna totally rearrange everything, okay? As the audience cheered and laughed along, the former primetime host asserted, and that's their entire approach. It was then that Carlson concluded of the cautionary tale from the heights of the executive branch, so if I could give you one piece of advice, after 27 years in the television business, don't trust a man with numb gums. Despite the suggestions as to the potential culprits behind the drugs, it had been reported that the Secret Service did not have the evidence to name a suspect responsible for bringing cocaine into arguably the most secure facility in the country. Fox News co-host of The Five, Jeanine Pirro, had commented on that fact Thursday and said, and we thought Hillary was untrustworthy. And to the Secret Service, have you no dignity? Have you no shame? Are you willing to go along with? You're either inept or you're covering up. Because we already know that Karine Jean-Pierre said the Bidens were not there on Friday. We know the Bidens were there on Friday. You vacated the building, it was so dangerous when you saw what you thought might be anthrax. And now you don't have anything to say about it, she posited. So it's either a cover-up or they're inept. And in addition to drug testing the staffers, I think they ought to stop lying to us and coming out and saying we know Hunter was there. Meanwhile, in addition to the thunderous response from the audience, Carlson's take on that mystery received equal praise on social media.